Let go. Let it go.
Just like another love TKO. You ready, Roberto? Sure. All right, here we go, P. Yeah. Go ahead. Can you put your phone away, please?
Slap shit on you.
All right. Here we go. My people, what up, though? We back with another episode of All Black Men Need Therapy. My name is Chief.
And I'm Bell.
My name is Prentice.
Eugene Powell.
Yes.
And here we go, y'all. Fellas, we back at it. We are back in our new spot, Gallery 66 in New Britain, Connecticut, with an art exhibit curated by Miss Adrienne Elliott. Gentleman's name is Mel Nwakocha. I think that's how I said it. Mel, forgive me if I mispronounce your name, but he's a self-taught multimedia creator. He uses materials ranging from styrofoam, clay, joint compound, metallic paint, various stones, jewelry, and any household appliances, man. It's a bunch of dope artwork going on right here, so y'all see that in the clip and whatnot, but support my man Mel, Nwokocha. You dig? That's his last name. Look him up and support him. Fellas, we back at it. Looks a little bit of consistency and whatnot. The merch is out, flying off the shelves.
Let's go.
You dig? So we moving in a good direction.
Support.
Bellhead, check in, B.
Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. All Black Men Need Therapy. We're on all your listening platforms. We are currently in over, I want to say like 140-something countries. So check us out. Word. Share it. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, All Black Men Need Therapy. We appreciate you.
Yo, for real, like, share this episode with your people. Like, matter of fact, stop, pause it right now, share, and come back to us.
Yeah,
for real. Do that for us. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Check in, B. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I
like your shirt.
Yeah, thank you.
It's the All Black Men Need Therapy shirt, y'all.
So so for the viewers, do y'all know what we'll do is we're gonna show the original picture of this logo. This is actually an actual photo. There's the people inside this. The logo are real people, so we'll release the actual photos soon. But the picture was taken approximately 5 years ago. But I'm good, man. My son, he's a handful.
Hilarious.
Yeah, the funny thing is he knows he's funny. Like, so he be saying stuff like, I'll tell you, like, for instance, yesterday, right? We went to the pumpkin patch. It was a good time. And then he sits at the coffee table and like sits in his little chair and watches the TV. So he normally has like snacks and stuff. So he's getting up, he's into wrestling. So he was like coming over to me to wrestle. And my son's 3 years old, but he's 3 feet 9 inches and 58 pounds. Like, he's massive.
That boy's, yeah, he's solid.
So he's walking over to me. He knocks his cup over. And I'm like, I wasn't sure if there was something in it or not, but it was like a sippy cup, which it wasn't going to spill anyway. But I'm like, pick your cup up. But you know him. Like, he is real slow to react to stuff. And I'm like, Chase, pick your cup up. And he goes to reach it, and he's like, you need to calm down. Like, I'm like, but he said it like so matter of fact, like basically, Dad, you're wilding. Like I'm picking this cup up. Like, there's nothing in it. I laughed, like, because it's like, I know he gets that shit from his mom. I know he do.
That's probably where he heard it from.
Yeah, it's just like it's like his vocabulary is just so crazy, man. Like, the stuff he be saying and like the big words he uses in context, like it's just crazy. And I know Brianna was the same way, but it's been so long. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been so long since that. So no, I'm good, man. He's about to go up to the next class. Because if you look at any of his daycare pictures, he's the biggest kid by far in the class.
That's how Justice
like, he looks like he's the instructor.
That's how Justice looks.
He about to be a senior.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I'm good, man.
I'm gonna go next. So we were talking about the language. My son the other day, Stormy was talking about something, and I was like, buddy, like, you gotta pay attention to what's going on. He said, Dad, I'm not worried. He's an imposter. I was like, what? Like, it's like, what? He's like, Dad, I'm not worried. He's an imposter. I'm like, wait a minute. No, but the kids are happy and healthy per usual. The kids are doing well. Work's been a little busy, man. You know, it's been a little busy. So
what's busy mean for you?
The spot I'm in is an expulsion center. So my kids have, find themselves in unfortunate circumstances, but some of them are still making some really poor decisions. You know what I'm saying? And I'm.
Do you think they understand that this is like the end of the road? I had the reason why I asked this question, I had a conversation with one of my employees, and basically told them that this is the last conversation I'm having like this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know that they understand, even after I said that I'm not playing. You know what I'm saying? So do your kids know that society's not playing with them right now?
No, society, no. School-wise, yeah, but I don't think they really grasp the concept of it because I have certain ones who, like, all jokes aside, like not even playing with you, come to school and like, yeah, I stole 10 cars this weekend. Running from cops. So,
Yo,
like literally.
I had a joke, but I'm gonna reserve it.
Literally.
Innocent till proven
And I'm
guilty.
just like, yo, that's wild. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, you got to be careful. You got to make better decisions. You know what I'm saying? But doesn't.
Also, if you're gonna be stealing cars, it's probably not a good idea to be advertising it.
I mean, they're not the smartest sometimes.
I mean, I
when they
guess
make
that
these
goes to, you know, what we was talking about last episode, establishing rapport, where they're actually, you know, comfortable doing these things. But when the Jakes come up in the building, Mr. Peterson,
You're a mandated reporter.
We need to see so, yeah, but that's different.
true.
We need to see so and so. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he over there in room 2. You know what I'm saying? Go get him because he know what he did. You know what I'm saying? So other than that, it's just been trying to navigate some of them behaviors, man. It's, you know, I got one of them who just got locked up. You know what I'm saying? And so, So it's just unfortunate. Like, it's, again, I do a good job of leaving it at work, but you can't help but be like, damn, I wish
Yeah, I mean, you're human.
they knew better.
Yeah,
You
you're
know what I'm
human.
saying?
That makes sense.
So we have these man sessions every week the manhood sessions where we sit down and we have conversations and
They're receptive to it.
they are, man.
That's
like
what's
the
up.
teachers are like, yo, you need to do that more often because when they come back to class, they're like, they're having a good day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, but it's just hard, you know, pull them out of class and we talked for like an hour or so.
Yeah, because it's not part of the curriculum, right? It's not like
right.
yeah.
But I mean, again, we have a specialized program, so we can do what the hell we want to do, kind of. You know what I'm saying? But they're still getting education. Overall, everything is good. So, Pete?
Yeah, man, I'm tapped in. Been pretty focused lately, man. You know,
Shout out to you, man. You killed your show the other day.
yeah,
Congratulations
I appreciate
on your Grammy run. Good
Yeah,
luck
yeah.
to you.
Hey,
You know what
and
I'm saying?
congratulations on your Grammy run
can't
thus
stand
far.
y'all.
So
Hey, I
far,
appreciate
sir.
you, man. Hey, you
know
got
what
an
I'm
album all called For Your Consideration 24. You guys should download that and check that out. Spoken word poetry album is pretty awesome. Check it
That's,
out.
you know what? That's really, and Bill, this is crazy that he said that because I was thinking about how awesome that his album Keep Going is, which is also in contention for Grammy nomination that we'll find out on November 10th that we both will be in motherfucking LA on their red carpet because I'm manifesting that shit. But anyways, it's a great album. Yeah,
It's
called
available on
Keep Going.
all streaming platforms.
I
right?
believe it's
okay,
all.
All music streaming
Yeah,
platforms.
check that out.
Check that out. How you doing?
But yeah, man, nah, I'm good. I'm focused. I'm tapped in. It's peaceful at the crib. You know, it's chin down time. You know what I mean? Like I
like
understand what time it is right now. So chin down. Got to do the track with Damian Lillard, which was dope.
That was dope.
That was
That was dope.
And how that came about was crazy too. And then just stay tuned because there's some more.
It's
shit
crazy
coming.
because y'all kind of look like y'all related.
That's funny. We're from the same.
Because
city.
y'all both from Oakland.
Yeah, from the town, man. But yeah, shout out to Dame, man. So just got to do that, and then you know, created a whole EP with him last week in
That's
LA.
what's up.
That's dope.
So that'll be dropping too, which is dope. So right now it's just chin down, and I'm seeing like results as an effect of just keeping my chin down and focus.
I got some questions though.
Yeah.
So what prompted you? Because we've had this conversation, like the three of us, in terms of like focus and where we need to be and stuff like that. So what was the catalyst to get you like, you know what, chin down? I gotta lock in.
I think it was, you know, the incident that occurred a couple months ago.
Yep,
That y'all know
yep,
about. I
yep.
think that was the most eye-opening experience of my life. You know what I'm saying? And so, like I tell y'all, like it changed something in me. I can't really explain it. It snapped something for the better.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
Good.
So I'm just clear, and I can see the results of it, and I like how I feel in this space. So I'm not questioning it, even though I don't necessarily know what it. I know what it was, but I'm just accepting what's happening right now.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
So,
You're not fighting it.
Not at all.
Yeah. It's crazy, man, because I'm thinking about, I got text Shaw, you know what I'm saying, due to some things I got going on, like I'm back locked in. When I think about myself when I'm locked in, it's almost scary at times because nothing else matters. What I mean by that is, like, if I'm locked in at work, I'm locked in. Like I'm not recording as much as I normally do. I'm focused. But I think one episode we're going to do in the immediate future is, you know, how often do we lock in for ourselves? You know what I'm saying? So, like, hearing you say that is like making me think like, all right, I am locked in, which this is for us, right? So this is for me, and this makes sense. But I'm also thinking about like, where can I channel that energy where I know where I need to channel it. It's just maybe me avoiding it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But hearing you say that is inspiring because I would say for you, Prentice, you're so gifted and so talented. And I've said this to you before, but you're so gifted and so talented. I think that, and I had this epiphany about myself too, you can get away with not being locked in.
And that has been my whole entire life, bro.
Yeah, you can get away with it.
Yep.
Like I had an epiphany about that, and I've talked to you guys about this. Like I've never been a student. Like I've never been a student. I've gotten by with, you know, working and charisma and skill and knowledge and so forth, but I've never locked in to become a student. Even when I played ball, like at Division I level, I just always, I watch film, but I never watch film enough to be an expert. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or to be elite. Like, and I think you guys have talents that can make you elite when you lock in.
Right. And that's what I'm seeing now. Like the focus and just what I'm practicing is unlocking doors, opportunities, and giving me moments of clarity. You know, like most importantly, I'm clear now. Like I have the most amount of clarity I've ever had in my life right now. And it's not leaving because I'm telling myself it's not fading. I'm believing it's some type of change. So yeah, I'm locked in, man.
No, that's definitely what's up. Is there like a measure for you or either one of you, like when you locked in, is obviously it's achieving the goal. Is that like the thing right there? But like, how do you know like you're moving in that direction? So I'll give you an example. So recently, both of you have acknowledged like the visual components of like my push for the Grammy run. Like you're seeing like the work being put in. And I kept telling you like, yo, I got some stuff. I'm lining up. You know, I'm doing what I'm doing. But like to have it validated by my peers who I respect means, you know, I'm doing the right thing. I know, you know, we believe in ourselves. We do what we do. But like to hear it from your people is like, yo, like I could see it. Well, we talked about it before the show, but like last night, was it last night?
We talked about what?
Last night was the show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so last night, like you went in there on a mission.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Tapped in, yeah.
Like I watched you do your little pace in the hallway, joint rehearsing and whatnot, and he was like locked in, and he got on stage and killed that thing. It was like, okay, he ain't come to play with nobody.
Yeah, we ain't
you know what I'm
fucking
saying?
around,
So
man.
Yeah, the words I live by, man, is you always think you're working hard till you really start working hard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know at every moment in my life where things changed, I can point back to a shift, something that like what you're experiencing right now. I can like, that happened, so I did this, and I did not look back. You know what I'm saying? And I think as achieving black men, we could reach a point of complacency at times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like you get some success. My coach used to call it reading your own press clippings. You know what I mean? Or drinking the poison, like believing what people are saying about you. And then you forget what it took for you to get there. You know, and I think that's happened to me before on multiple occasions. And every time it has, it usually isn't by my own acknowledgement. It's usually some superior or boss or entity that is telling me you need to get your shit together because this is how you're showing up. And that's all it takes. Because we tell ourselves stories. I am very good at that, telling myself a story. You know what I mean?
Awareness, yeah. I can tell myself a good one, too. I think sometimes, were you?
I'm good, bro.
Okay, my bad. I think sometimes you know with the answers, what I'm noticing is that you know you're on the right track when the unexpected occurs. I feel like it's more so the unexpected pleasantries down the journey. You know, like as you're going down whatever mission you're on, it's that unexpected wave from somebody on the side of the street while you're traveling rather than the actual destination. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the things that occur before you get there. It's
100% the journey.
You know what I mean?
100% the journey.
But it's the things that you start to see occurring that weren't a part of your vision or for me, or your plan to kind of pop up. You know what I'm saying?
It's because you can't, it's like this, man. no matter how bad you want to script it, step by step, it's never going to work out like that. Like I always say, it doesn't matter how you get there as long as you're moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
And that direction may be lateral for a second. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't going backwards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I've always looked at it.
Yeah, I think I just realized recently that the work is the manifestation. You know what I'm saying? Like the manifestation comes within the work. And I think we spoke, it was the last episode where you had mentioned
Things only happen for a reason, only if you're moving forward.
only if you're moving forward. So you have to be in motion.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like you said, you tell yourself a good story. I know I've sold myself a story about how much motion I thought I was in. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you wonder why the results aren't there. But yeah, I think it's just all in the motion, bro. Like we just got to work.
For sure. So we jumping and moving into today's topic. Pete, you kind of scripted this, so you want to break it down to what we talking about today, bro?
Yeah, well, you know, y'all know for me, man, I try not to overthink this shit, and 9 times out of 9, I'm gonna say whatever it is I'm feeling, you know, whatever's in my head, fuck it. So I've been on my mind. I've been thinking a lot about the integrity we have to have in order to move forward. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean only from the space of being a black man, but especially because we are, right? Like the obstacles and the situations that are placed in front of us as grown adults now versus when we were kids. And I find myself lately proud of myself for integrity I feel that I've shown in certain situations that have occurred, which I think is dope. But at the same time, I'm finding it challenging to sometimes hold on to that integrity. You know what I'm saying? Like to tap in as hard as I need to 24/7 in order to be the man that I want to be. And I think I'm doing a good job so far. Like, I think I am, but I figured since we were going to be in the same room, I kind of wanted to talk to y'all because to me, in my opinion, like you two specifically, like in my life, you guys don't waver on how you guys conduct yourselves. That's the one thing. I can see how you guys have grown up with each other in that sense. You know what I mean? Like, I can absolutely see because neither one of you guys are very fucking consistent. I know for me, I understand you way more since our car ride when we drove to your crib in Boston. Like that car ride, like was great, and I'm hella glad we got in that car because through the conversation that we had in that car, I realized where your integrity comes from and why you have it because I learned a lot about you. You know what I'm saying? And you are fucking Mr. Integrity, and you always taking the high ass road. Sometimes I want you to fuck that high road. You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't always like that.
And that's the crazy thing. I didn't know him during that time.
Don't do that.
I didn't know him during that time.
We're going to be honest. Let's be honest.
But when I look at y'all now, you guys have a very, very high level of integrity. And I know, again, like you, sometimes I can sell myself stories about myself. And with the integrity I've seen in certain situations for me lately, it's making me now go back and reflect like, yo, how this feels new. So if this feels new, this level of integrity, how have I been? You know what I'm saying? Like, what have I really been? How have I really been moving? Am I telling myself a story more? Or, you know what I'm saying? Is this legit? So I figured it would make a lot of sense just to kind of tap in with y'all and ask you guys, like, do you guys have moments? Because, again, to me, you guys are consistent, very consistent with your integrity. Do you have moments where it's challenging for you? I have hella questions, but I'll start there. Do you have moments where you feel like your integrity is challenged, and how do you view integrity in general from your perspective?
Well, one qualifying question. When you say integrity, do you mean like what I stand for, what I stand on?
That's your interpretation, bro. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
no. If I'm defining it how I define it, here's what I say to people. I have like, I don't know, man, a handful, maybe 5, 6, maybe friends, right? That I describe them as, if you have a problem with him, there's something wrong with you. right? That's what I always say. Like, these are the type of people where they're just so solid, like good people. Like Warden Pierce is one of those people. Like he's such a like his brother EP. I can understand why people don't like him, right? Like I can understand why people don't like me. I can understand why people don't like Chief. I get that.
What about me?
Prentice, come on, you're the wild card, bro. Like, yeah, there's people who watch this show just waiting for you to say some wild shit.
That's
like,
crazy.
There's people that watch this show because they can't stand you and they want to, and they're waiting for you to say something so they can comment on it. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
That's fucking great.
They gonna light your ass up in the comments when we start going live.
Oh yes.
So what I mean by that is, LL Cool J, I was watching an episode or interview. He said, I'm a good guy. I'm not a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? He said, he's like a nice guy, like basically does everything for everybody. A good guy just does the right thing. So my integrity has always been like on my name, my word. Like if I tell you I'm gonna do something, for better or worse, it's about to happen. For better or worse. If I tell you I'm gonna do something negative, it's gonna happen. If I tell you I'm gonna do something positive, it's gonna happen. It may not happen in the time frame that I said it's gonna happen, but it's going to happen. Like if it's within my control, it's gonna happen. So, perfect example, right? My company's going through a whole bunch of shit right now. The one thing that I have over a lot of people is I'm myself. And I do what I say I'm gonna do. Like people know they can count on me. If like we need Bell to do this and he said he's gonna do it, it's done. Like they know in a foxhole, I'm riding. You know what I'm saying? So like my integrity, I've always stood on that because people may not like me, and I understand that. But nobody can tell you that I did them, I stole from them, or I did a shady business deal with them.
All right, let me ask you this. I find myself now older, more aware of the need for me to have some core principles at this age, right? Like in this space, and in reflecting and starting to develop those in my life now, I realize how I didn't have them before. So my question is, where in the journey did you develop those principles where the idea of if you say you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it, started mattering to you? Or was it something that is just an innate part of your personality? You're just consistent in that way, so that's what you're known for, and then that's when it held value. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like when did the value come within it?
I think a lot of it has to do with one, the company you keep.
Agreed.
Because I'm not gonna let him get away with no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And even if he follows through with the bullshit, I'm gonna let him know some sucker shit you did. You know what I'm saying? And hold him to those principles. And when people you care about hold you accountable, it kind of makes you sit back and dial in for a minute. There's been several times where we've had exchanges where like I'm telling him something or he's telling me something, like, you for real? Like, it's like, come on, man. Like, I know you. You don't see it, but I see it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to like, you take that into consideration. But I think just growing up, you kind of like, when you've been done wrong in certain ways and you know how that feels, you don't want to put that impression onto other people. You dig what I'm saying? Like, so there's the, I think who said it? Was it? I think it might have been Maya Angelou. Like people may forget what you say, may forget what you did, but never forget how you made them feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like one of them things, like I don't want to have people, like, I think to your point too, like there aren't many people who can be like, yeah, P, but Chief ever did me wrong. Or like say some foul shit about me.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? And
No,
like,
you're definitely one of them people.
But I had to have this conversation the other day. So my big baby, my adopted kid my son was at the store. He ran into one of my homies and he was like, yo, you still stay with Chief? And he's like, nah, I moved out, whatever. He's like, yo, be careful, blah, 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 blah. I heard this about him.
About you?
About me. And
He's telling this to Big
Baby. And Big Baby's like, yo, don't play with me. Like, that's like, don't say that shit. Like my pop, like, that ain't how we get down, blah, 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 blah. So Big Baby calls me like, yo, your mans. I'm like, my mans. Like, first of all, I got no mans because my mans don't talk about me like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, my mans don't talk about me like that. He's like, nah, it's your man. So he told me who it was. I'm like, really? And it was one of the things where like I knew it wasn't true, so I'm not really tripping about it. But I was like, when I see him, it's, you know what I mean, it's on sight. Right. One of them type of things. So I saw him at the thing the other day and I walked up, I'm like, yo, come here, man, I need to talk to you, B. He's like, well, man, come here, man, let's talk. I'm like, since you've known me, from the time we've met, have you ever had to question anything about me? He's like, nah. So have I not been a stand-up dude from the moment you met me? He's like, nah, you have. I'm like, so why would you go ahead and tell? He's like, nah, I was talking to him on some, like, you know, some family stuff because I care about him. I said, okay, well, I get that. But when you heard that, why you ain't checked them? Because somebody told you that means you didn't check them, and you going around talking to other people. Like, nah, I just told him because I know how y'all tight y'all are. I'm like, nah, but you should have come to me with that.
No, shut up, yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was but we had that conversation, and we was able to clear the air. But I'm like, yo, don't do that, B. Like, you know me.
See, that's the difference between you and I. I wouldn't have had that conversation with him. Because for me, it's like, there's no need to. Like, he don't deserve my energy. He don't deserve my attention. He don't deserve nothing. Like, so to answer your original question, right? Two types of people I hate are liars and thieves. I despise thieves. I despise liars. So when I always said, and this isn't right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just telling you what I used to always say. Lie to women, don't lie to your friends. When I was younger, like
Unfollow.
That's what I used to say.
They about to smoke us.
Yeah.
I'm about to lose hella fucking followers.
That's 20 women going already.
Yeah, no, like when I was in my 20s, that's what I used to say.
What you always say, ladies and gentlemen, those are the responses of Christopher K. Bellamy.
No, man.
That has nothing to do with the party of all black men in therapy.
I'm 41 years old now, but when I was in my 20s, that's what I used to say. Like, don't lie to your friends, like, because we're gonna need each other. So I need to know, one, I need you to be 100 with me all the time because I need to know what type of shit I'm getting myself into. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we out and about, you're not honest with me about what's happening, and now I'm caught up in something that I don't need to be caught up in. You know what I mean? Because you weren't honest with me. And I don't like thieves, man, because you can't trust them. Like, if somebody's gonna steal from you or steal from someone else, I just can't trust those types of people.
Trust is the cornerstone of any relationship.
And I was raised around stand-up men, you know, like, yeah, they had their faults. 1,000,000% had their faults. But I just couldn't live with myself if I couldn't be stand on.
I don't know what made me think
principles.
about this. When we were having our last episode, we were talking to Warden Pierce, and we were talking about just how he handles his situations and whatnot. And I was like, I wonder, because who we hang out with? Does he have a circle of people he can trust?
No, he don't. He don't be talking to nobody. He said that.
Did he?
He hang out with his family.
No doubt. I'm just
Well,
curious.
ask him, no.
I'm just curious. I want to see if he got to check. Because I can call y'all niggas any moment, any time, be like, yo, this is what it is. I wonder if he has like a circle like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm sure he got somebody, but I want to get back to, where's this coming from?
These questions?
This whole premise, like the whole thought, like, because you're clearly going through something, which is what you're trying to seek to understand.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
we know that part, but I'm
yeah,
saying like,
yeah, no, I'm
No,
not.
but specifically the integrity part, though. Like, because you said something. You said you haven't always been how you are now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
I just a couple of days ago had a conversation where my integrity stayed 100% intact, and I was surprised.
and how do you define your integrity in that moment?
Okay, so that's great. I'm realizing now that I associate, usually when I think about my integrity, I associate it with conflict. So I had what I could have allowed to be a conflict, I didn't.
So you know it's interesting.
so-
I will defend my integrity with conflict.
Oh, yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I don't even know if I'm
that's
there
a
yet.
great point. So
Yeah.
you avoiding conflict is a way to protect your integrity. You engaging in conflict is a way to protect your integrity.
I will too. There's a bigger picture.
Okay.
There's a bigger picture.
So this
in
particular instance felt like
it's not about
an
me.
integral thing to avoid the conflict.
Yeah, it's not about me at all.
Okay.
It's not about me. There's
Gotcha.
a bigger picture.
No, for sure.
But sometimes, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
So I'll give you an example. Somebody that we all know, or that he and I know, same thing, says something to somebody about my integrity specifically. And at that point, I had a choice. But before I could even act on that choice, the people he had said these things to, they defended my integrity.
Right. So
Because they're like, you're lying.
And
Because, but real quick, because he doesn't stand on integrity.
And that essentially was why I had to have the conversation. Because if somebody came to me talking about, first of all, they wouldn't come to me because they know how we get down.
Right.
But if somebody had the gall to come to me and talk ill about you, I'd be ready to fight.
Right.
We're not doing that, fam. Like, you're not about to do that. Don't keep my man name out. And if it get twisted, it get twisted. Like, that's how I'm going to defend my homies, and that's an integrity check right there. You don't get to do that, B. You dig what I'm saying? So that's why I had that conversation with him. So I think integrity can, like you said, can be defined by the moment and how we perceive it in the moment. But am I wrong to say like what I said? Like you in that moment protected your integrity by avoiding conflict, but at the same token, you ready? You know, this shit can get out of hand at any
It can
moment.
get out of hand, you
Right.
know, and that's something I got to work on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Wait, can you remember the last time shit got out of hand though?
with me,
Just when you had to like,
put my hands on somebody,
not necessarily put your hands on somebody, but every now and then you gotta like
check somebody.
Yeah, like sit back and go, damn, I probably, you know what I mean, it was a little extra.
I've checked people professionally before. I mean, I haven't gotten out of character, if that's what you're asking. I couldn't remember the last time I've gotten out of character. Probably 2012.
Yeah, so I think with the practice that I've had with these kids, it like at work, it just allows me to like, I have a lot of practice with like navigating tense moments. And for me, I think the last time you see me like hot was probably dealing with.
Yeah, but I told you with you, I don't know that that's a I feel, and I don't know if this is true, I feel with you when you swing the pendulum like that, that's also not good. You know what I'm saying?
To
like
go so far?
Yeah, like I don't want you putting people in bushes no more. You know what I'm saying? But
However,
I also don't want you taking the like not having any emotion towards it. You see what I'm saying?
And I think that's what I tend to do more often now.
I know, but what I'm saying is, it's not like you don't have emotion towards it. You're just not expressing those emotions. That's where I think there's conflict, or could be conflict.
But is it? I think it's more so to the individual involved in the situation. Like you'll get it. I'll run it by y'all. And be like, yo, this is what happened, blah blah blah. But I don't put the energy in expressing it to them.
But the question is it resolved internally?
Hell no for you. No.
Like I don't believe it is.
Nope.
Because I can see it when it comes out in spurts. So I'm like, all right, that was a rip elevator, right? Like,
Well, leave the elevator alone.
like, it's like,
Come on, man.
Like that's coming from somewhere. Now I'm joking mostly with that situation, but I've seen you in action, and I'm like, yo, that was kind of aggressive, bro. Like it's 7:30 in the morning. Like where'd that come from? You know what I mean? So I guess what I'm saying is, taking the high road is cool as long as you were addressing whatever emotion was evoked through that situation.
With myself, yes, not with the party involved. I'll sit back and reflect on self and do all that stuff. But with the person involved, it's like, I'm not even about to give you that energy.
Yeah, but next time you encounter that person, are those feelings automatically vanished?
I think it depends on the circumstances, because a lot of people, I got my circle.
Yeah. Like
know
people
what I'm
that you don't come in contact with, that's easy. That's easy. But when you're triggered by people that you have to interact with.
That's a whole different ballgame.
I just don't talk to them. It's probably why I got transferred a couple of times,
But
from work.
But there you go.
Yeah, like, nah, I ain't about to talk to you, shorty. Like, nah.
But that's what I'm
Fuck outta
saying.
here.
So you're holding a grudge, right? Be it as it may.
There's some suppression in there.
Yeah, out
There's
of
some suppression
self-preservation.
somewhere in there.
So
I don't doubt that.
that's why I'm saying for you specifically, it's not great because it never gets addressed. It just gets cut off, which could serve to be detrimental.
Yeah, I could see that with you absolutely 110%. And so that's like for me, like what's happening with me lately is I'll see moments where I feel like I'm displaying a different new level of what I define as integrity, and I'm surprised by it because it's new, like I said. So I've really just been in.
When you say integrity, you mean like
Yeah, I feel like
resolve?
yeah. So we got cups too, yo.
Maybe
Mugs.
when I think of integrity,
Or restraint?
I think of something, like a consistent, a permanency within character. You know
Character,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm seeing things in me that are new and are new traits that I would love to have permanent and are coming and showing up for me. And because they're new, I'm now reflecting on my past like, well, if I'm just now starting to identify these feelings, traits, whatever that are having that I associate with having more integrity, what have I been doing? And when I think about integrity, a lot of times I think of y'all, I especially think about you.
It really just clicked for me. Like
What?
just now. Like why you say that. Because of under the first time we really clicked what happened and my response to that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'm putting it together.
Hell
Yeah, so it all makes sense.
Yeah,
now,
I had never
makes
seen
sense.
that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I had never seen that. And so that really defined like, oh, bro's different. You know what I'm saying? Like he's different. So now that I'm in the...
So to his point, I think the word is restraint.
It may
versus
yeah, and
integrity.
you know what? Maybe this is more so about restraint, but I think to me still that restraint shown is big on my integrity list, which is why I'm probably keep going to the word integrity because I feel like that feeds that title more so for me than anything else. So now that I'm just in this space of identifying for myself, I was like, let me fucking have a conversation with them about it and be like, so do y'all think about this shit? Is this shit natural to you? Does it change? Does it evolve? Do you feel it's a time where it's cool to let that shit go? Especially with you.
Let it
like
go, let it go, like release it, or let it go.
Throw
like
that shit out
have
the
at it?
window for a motherfucking minute. Like you said, you'll defend your integrity with conflict. I wonder with you where you stand on yours and how healthy it is for you. Like kind of like Bell was saying, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I think it's better for you to release that shit than it is for you to be the same.
Was it this episode or last episode when we talked about like lying to ourselves, I guess?
Well, we're talking this on this episode talking about
yeah.
telling ourselves a story.
So I think what happens is because I'm so quick to like, you know what, fuck that, I ain't dealing with this shit. I've convinced myself I'm over it until, like you said, until it surfaces in another place. So like
Elevator.
In my head, I'm like, I processed it. I don't care about it no more. So I ain't really tripping until it pops back up, and a little piece of it hasn't been tucked all the way. So you know what I mean? It's like you close the chest with a little piece of the shirt hanging out. It's, you know what I mean? It's a little, you know what I mean? It's a little bit there.
But it was enough to tug on.
Right, enough. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So that's kind of what it is for me.
So the I don't care is more so of a sell to yourself rather than actual truth.
No,
if you're looking at it just from
it's a lie, bro.
And that's what I'm saying. It's a lie. I'm lying to myself.
That's
saying
what I'm saying. You're
over
selling it to yourself. Yeah. And it's not necessarily
but there's still an ample amount of processing going on in that, and going, you know what?
What would happen if you didn't tell yourself that? What happened if in conflict you didn't go to that? What do you think would happen?
Like it's bad. It turns bad, bro. Like there's been times like I was sat on the porch crying for about 2 hours one day because I thought I almost killed my brother. Like for real.
So you it's like there's no meter?
It's an angry aggression.
So it's like you said, he's talking about going from like being the way he is to if he wasn't, it's automatically on that side of the meter when you were saying that
the pendulum.
he swings it too far.
But I'll question one thing you said. When you said you said you convince yourself that it's no longer an issue or you're over it. But then you also said in the same breath there's ample amount of processing. And those sound like two conflicting things.
So with the processing, I go, it becomes now, what level of priority does this situation have in my life?
Okay, that's a great question.
You know what I'm saying?
Great question.
And it's like, okay, well, you have this, and this. Is it really worth investing this energy into this? Do you need that right now? It's like, you know what? I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying? And then,
but that's the act. That's the act. So the cause and effect, right? The cause is somebody wronged you. The effect is you're going to give them your energy or not give them your energy. What I'm asking about is the emotion associated with that cause. Like, you convince yourself that you're not going to give them that energy, but the reality is they already got that energy. It's just buried somewhere.
I'm processing energy. They haven't gotten it. If that makes sense. Like the energy has come from them, and I got it, and they don't. It's like, okay, you're not giving them the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, they're
right?
left wondering, and I'm just like, let me just sort
of. Or satisfaction is what I meant to say. You're not giving them satisfaction, but it does. And I don't want to spend too much time on this, but it doesn't.
I think it's good.
It doesn't change what's happening inside of you.
No, not for the time being. But again, that's what the processing is for. You process it, and then it's like. It's either suppressed enough or
I don't believe with
I'm
you
completely
personally, me just knowing you personally, I don't ever think you get over shit. Like
there's no release.
Like I don't like we talked about this the other day. Well, about one of the episodes we did, and he was like, yeah, this happened. I'm like, yo, bro, the shit that triggers you and like you hold on to is like crazy. I have my ways. Don't get me wrong. I have shit that I hold on to that is not serving me or anybody else. But you're really big on respect.
Integrity.
And integrity. Yes.
So that
you are.
when you step out of the lines and bounds of integrity, it's just common courtesy shit that gets under my skin.
But common courtesy shit, is it even that common anymore? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
if you have integrity, it is.
I don't believe that though. Yeah. I promise you I'm not trying to keep bringing this up.
This is the elevator.
I promise I'm not. But I don't believe that dude didn't have integrity because he didn't speak to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that man could be full of integrity. One, he may not have heard you. Two, he may not have felt like talking. Maybe he had a fucked up morning.
Maybe it's your perception of how. No, I'm telling you, the dude. Did you see his interaction?
It was great.
Yes,
Tell
I
the
did.
people the story again, because for those who haven't
All
seen.
right, so for those who maybe have not seen the episode, we're in San Francisco.
About a year to date, actually.
Yeah, almost a year ago.
Two weeks from now, man.
For Prentice's wedding, and we're in a hotel, and Chief and I, we have a room, and we're going down the elevator, and it stops. Somebody comes on the elevator, and Chief says, "Good morning," and the guy, he's on his iPad, phone, whatever. He's on something, and the guy doesn't respond. Chief responds, "Good morning," and then the guy looks up, good morning. And then I'm like, what if that man didn't want to speak to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's his right. So I'm like, what if he never responded? Then what? Like where does it go from there?
What does it matter? He responded.
Yeah, but what if he didn't?
But you got off the elevator, you was still tight
He was
about
tight.
the fact that
I
he
was
didn't
tight
say
because
good
he
morning.
kept trying to tell me I son the dude on the elevator, and I was trying to
You
say
gave
good
him
morning
dad
to the dude.
tone.
Yeah, I was,
It was his responsibility to speak to you. And it's not. Like, that's what I'm
spoke to
saying.
him.
But that don't mean he got to speak to you.
but you was tight
right.
though, but like
All
I
right,
was
well, I took the note from that. Now I just don't talk to niggas in the elevator no more.
exactly it's the same shit. Now I just fuck
So
it.
you clearly didn't let it go. That's my point. You know what I'm saying? You're changing who you are because of one experience. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like, again, I am not sitting here like I'm holier than thou. Like, I have my own shit. I'm just saying specifically for you, I think you play this mind game with yourself that I'm not giving it energy, so that means it's not impacting me because they're not seeing it. But what I'm telling you is I know firsthand that it is. And my question is, how do you get to a place where you can start dealing with that? Because I promise you it impacts you more than you realize.
Maybe it does, but I don't think it impacts me into a way that has been detrimental to
Yo, you say that a lot.
Yeah, no, yes, yeah. He
You
always
say
say
anyone
that.
else.
That is a like reflexive response for you.
Automatic.
Like anytime something that
And
you
we love
didn't-
you, bud, but we own you.
Anytime that you don't listen, anytime that you don't do something, your response is I don't think it's detrimental. Like it's always like why does it have to
That
be
wasn't the question.
so extreme?
And that wasn't a question.
What's the appropriate response to?
What do you think you can do? I know you don't think it's effective, but what do you think you got a deep ass bag that you could put this shit in. So what do you think you can do just to put your hand in the bag? That's the only question. You got a
I
deep
love that
ass bag.
analogy.
What can you do to just put your hand in it instead of being like, oh no, this shit don't bother me. I got a deep ass bag. We could just throw it up in there. Genuinely, what
Care
can you
more?
do? You said what?
Do I need to care more?
I don't think you don't care. I think you
You
care
need to
too
care
much.
more. You
I
the
think you
most
care too
loving nigga I
much.
know.
Okay, do I need to care less?
Maybe.
No,
I'm not
we're
saying you do or you
asking
don't.
you.
No,
I'm asking you.
I'm being real because this shit, to me, it don't fucking bother me.
It does though.
Yeah, blood,
You're
it bothers
lying
you.
right now.
You know it.
Like people
No,
listen to
no.
148 countries and you're lying.
I don't know how to. Okay,
Think about it, bro. The episode I'm talking about, we recorded that shit literally a month ago. No, 2 months ago. He came in August. 2 months ago. I brought it up the other day. It's like, yeah, it's one of it. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, why does that bother you like that? Like, I was in the airport. We just had this conversation.
I don't know. If
Like
it's
I think when
bother though. Like,
I think you take when somebody doesn't have the same and maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but when somebody doesn't have the same values as you, you take it as a sign of disrespect. compared to, oh, maybe they're just not a good human. Or maybe they're just not raised the same way as you're raised. But you take it as a sign of disrespect because you wouldn't do it.
Maybe the question is...
That's fair.
Maybe the question is like, why don't you, rather than what you can, like...
Why
don't you reach in the bag? And your answer can't be because I'm not tripping.
Because you are.
Like, it can't be because I
that was
don't
my natural
care.
response.
I know. So what would the answer be if it wasn't because I'm not really tripping? And I get to prioritizing. Some things just you really ain't tripping off.
Okay,
of.
so then I honestly don't think I have an answer for y'all. So
okay, that's fair.
So in this conversation, tell me what you would do.
What would your response be? That's subjective. We're different people.
We are. I can tell you what I do. Shit bothers you way more than it bothers me. Like little shit bothers you way more than it bothers you. Bothers you way more.
And I can agree with that, but Bell, it's bothering me. All right, fuck it. I don't care no more. Like I have my moment and it's done.
But okay. I can't answer that question what I would do because I just don't care as much about these little things as you care. And all I'm saying is, why do you care so much about these things?
I guess it just depends on the thing.
Yeah, but I think we're onto something by saying it's centered around integrity. I think most things that I can think of that trigger you is because I did this, I expected this from you.
Yeah, and that goes back to the conversation we had a long time ago about me holding expectations over people I shouldn't, and giving people the benefit of the doubt more often than I should. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's probably part of it too, because I genuinely believe most people are good people until you do some fuck shit, and then I got and then you put in the bucket, and then I don't got to dig in that bucket no more. But you still want me to go in the bucket? Why, Prentice? Nigga, show me who they are. You know what I'm saying? So if I saw the same white dude in the elevator, fuck you. I ain't saying nothing to you.
Yeah, but you also feel the need to get your shit off too, though. Like you big on getting your lick back.
You got a real honest, sincere deflection. But you got shit is.
But my thing is, this.
How did this become about you all of a sudden? I want to make sure
because we were talking about just the integrity thing and where we stand and so on and so forth. But like, you call it a sincere deflection, but it doesn't feel like much because that shit don't, like, I'm deflecting minuscule things. Like it's not like the big shit I'm deflecting. Like this doesn't seem like
what's crazy?
Like I don't have fucking microaggressions all day long.
No, real quick. You know what's crazy? The big shit
is what you don't bother
impact you as much as the little shit.
Yes, that's what it is. And that's the
true.
shit that got the deepest effect. I feel like the big shit I've seen happen to you and the way you process it make me more fucking worried than it does like, he handled that well. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, my nigga, that don't just go in and out.
I'm saying, like, I haven't been.
No, I agree.
I agree. Certain you have, but I know you've probably gone over the edge or stepped outside of yourself more recently than I have. For sure.
Okay, is that growth on your part or is it suppression?
A little bit of both.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I agree.
That's honest.
I agree. That's honest. I agree with that.
This was a hot seat like a motherfucker for you, huh?
Yeah, no, and that wasn't intended to be.
I'm here for it.
I think it's good because he's talking more.
My thing is, I don't. It's like I don't want to grow, but these things, it doesn't seem like it's a big. It's more of a big deal to you than it is to me. You know what I'm saying?
It's only a big deal. It's only a big deal to me because I see it show up, even though you say it's not a big deal.
So it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you like, yo, this nigga has a bunch of microaggressions all day long. That's what I hear in my head. Right
for me, it's not about microaggressions. I want to make sure for you that you're processing the shit you need to, and not only processing it, but I just want to make sure that you're releasing that shit, that you're not holding on to. I just want to make sure. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, same.
You can have the
same
emotional
page.
bag. That's cool. We all have things that we got in that bag. I just want to make sure that you're releasing that shit.
So I think my release comes with time. Like, it just continually suppresses until it's no longer there anymore. But
so by ignoring it?
Pretty much.
Because one thing I'll say about Prentice, we call him a wild card, we say all that shit, which is true. But he feels his shit in real time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Like if something is impacting him and he starts talking about it, he's going to release those emotions. Not release like they're gone forever, but he will effectively communicate as best he can what that situation is doing to him. Whereas what you do is like, oh, no, it ain't about none. But it is, but for the sake of the argument, it isn't. Whereas
it's I think I've over the course of time I've learned to kind of pick my battles. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like, with people.
Picking with people. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
Couldn't agree
people.
more.
Like
yes.
if it's not worth arguing about you about, I'm not.
So
You know what I'm saying? I don't think you as much, but there's been several times I've called you and said, yo, this is what's going down. What you think? And you'd be like, nah, it ain't even worth it. I'm like, all right.
No, yeah. So, and then as we're talking, I'm trying to think about how I deal with shit. And most shit really doesn't bother me. Like most shit. That's how I'm able to like, and I think we all have this ability. Like, most shit doesn't bother me, so I'm able to see through like crisis easier than most.
I'm the same way.
I just
except
said
it bothers me. Think about it. Like, think about it. The shit bothers me, but I'm able to see the bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I've always said, like I'm the type of dude, like no bullshit. Like I could, like you ever see the superhero movies when the bad guy's shooting and the dude's watching the bullets go by? Like that's how I am in the middle of the chaos.
Okay, Bruce
I literally
Leroy?
was just about to say just now, maybe I'm not recognizing this man's superpower. You know what I'm saying? I literally was just thinking that. Like, you know, like there can be some validity to what I'm saying, and I'm sure there is. I'm positive there is, but maybe I'm just not recognizing the superpower. Because I realize with me, my gift is my self-awareness. Like, my gift is as intuitive I am in that real time about my feelings and my emotions. That's my gift.
Yeah.
I just thought I was a crybaby because everybody told me I was sensitive my whole life. But with you, maybe your ability to be how you are in the midst of chaos and conflict is more of a superpower than I'm giving you credit.
I think that, but like, think about it. The time when like the trucks happened and stuff, there's no
No
real
connection,
like
no
big,
emotion.
like it's like, you know, all right,
You are
cool. Like,
really like
this is
that,
what
bro.
it is. I'm cool with that. So maybe I'm more triggered by the little shit because the big shit kind of is what it is.
Maybe.
We can't do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a solution to it.
Yeah, because I don't want to make it seem like, and again, this was supposed to be about integrity, and it
Well,
still
it
is
was, but
overall.
again,
But
this
I
is
don't
good.
want you
But
to
this
feel
is
like
the-
I'm
yeah.
trying to. I'm not getting on you for shit. It just led to this conversation, and now we're on the topic. I think it's cool, one, because I feel like a lot of times I want to hear this from you more on this camera and in these episodes.
Yeah, we
And
always say you don't talk enough.
So I'm really happy just for this moment because I think as much as we do this, I think hands down, this is probably the most chief-based episode we've ever had with your input, with your insight, rather than just me and
and being
Bill
a
getting on
narrator.
you. I think it
Or
led to
facilitator.
talking to you, and it got me some different shit to think about when it comes to you. Again, it's just I'd rather plant the seed of like, hey, bud, like put your hand in the bag real quick. You know, just try that shit.
But so when I do that, what are you expecting to come from that?
No, it's not about what.
No, I'm saying ideally, what is supposed to come from that?
I wanna know if you do that, if there's a healthier you that comes as a result of it.
And if what you say is resolved truly is resolved. Because I don't believe in all
It's a
and again,
test.
it is what it is, man. Like as we're talking, I'm thinking, and I'm like, my daughter gave me this feedback the other day. We all went out to dinner and kind of talked. What she said to me, she's like, Dad, in my mind, you're Superman because nothing bothers you. You know what I'm saying? She's like, in my mind, you haven't had a hard time because I don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't talk about it because in this a lot of cases, definitely for us, it's more often than not, there is no one to talk to about this. You know what I'm saying? More often than not. So like hypothetically, if I'm in a financial bind, like my financial binds are different than my family's financial binds. Like if I'm in a financial bind, I need $5,000. You know what I'm saying? I don't need $50 to get me the next week. You know what I'm saying? Like one of my cousins would hit me up or something like that, or my brother or something. Nah, if I need help, it's a $5,000 or more help. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like knowing that there's no one that could potentially help me or in that arena, right, where the information, my daughter would get the information because I talked to my mom or I talked to my dad or I talked to somebody that eventually would relay the information back to her. Since she had no understanding of what that looked like for me, she just always looked at me as someone who doesn't understand struggle. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, no, Bree, like, here's how I was taught. You pass praise down and problems up. So I said, so if you are not where I am or above me, I'm only passing encouragement down to you.
T-shirt.
Not problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not passing my problems down as a father to his child. Mm-hmm. Now, my parents passed some of their problems down to me, and that doesn't make them bad people. It's just that was their circumstances, their reality. You know what I'm saying? So that's another reason why I don't express when I am going through something. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that how that impacted me. So I'm like, I'm going to just push through and make it happen.
Yeah, and then we got to find that balance, you know what I mean? Because we're so aware of the things that happen to us. So in a way, we suppress them so our kids don't get them. And I think at the same time, it kind of, you know, like it's a worthy sacrifice, but it kind of robs us of the opportunity of finding the balance, you know, in between both spaces.
I do think there's a balance.
I want to, not that you haven't heard this before and I haven't told you, but you did a hell of a job, bro. Sugar's an amazing human,
Thank you.
man. Like, she's really intuitive, really intelligent, emotional as shit.
Yeah.
But she's like a really good person. So I say that because we had a conversation that we were talking about therapy and whatnot, and I want to talk about that after. But she was just like, I'm thinking about being a therapist. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. And she's like, I want to be a therapist for people like me. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, people always look at me like I'm single with a good job and no kids. They act like we don't go through things.
Yeah.
Like we don't have any problems. And I'm like, yo, that's a great point. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really good. That's a really good thing. Just be a therapist for single people just trying to make it in the world
Figuring
out life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's actually genius. But no one thinks of that because I probably said it myself. Like, yo, you 22, you got no kids, you got no responsibilities. Go, you know what I mean? Do what you do. Not like they don't have their own stresses. You know what I'm saying?
she checked me. She checked me. This was more recent than the dinner we had. Because I always say burritos aren't real problems. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta watch that.
I know. And I always say, like, burritos aren't real problems. Like, because
In comparison to who?
it's all relative. It's all relative. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm thinking, like, I'm like, Bree, at your age, like, I literally had an 11-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we really talking about? 11-year-old that I had custody of. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a house that I was responsible for. Like, these aren't real problems. But she checked me. She's like, Dad, but they're my problems. And when she said it was like a light bulb.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
didn't even realize you were minimizing them,
I didn't realize it. And it was a light bulb. I'm like, yo, she's right. Who am I to say what you're dealing with isn't real? Mm-hmm. Like, who the fuck am I? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that was a very eye-opening thing for me. And I think for her, it was a struggle too, because she has this depiction of me and how I'm coasting through life. So she is hesitant to talk to me about her problems because
Views you in a different bracket.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Experience,
Different
probably.
experience. And it's like, he's not, like, let me just forge through because my dad's successful and he hasn't had all these things. So let me just get through it and not deal with it and just push past it.
So maybe it's just a thought. Like, maybe that's part of the key is doing exactly what you say you don't do, which is talk about your problems. Because maybe
there's a balance,
talking
like you
about
said.
some of that, she can identify with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when we went to dinner, when we had that conversation after she told me that, we went to dinner, and we got deep, man. I told her a little bit about what I told you in that car ride.
Did you?
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, and she had no idea. And
Had to give her some perspective.
It does, man. And I think one day, you know, in my second act, maybe I'm gonna make that like the whole story, like a motivational speech.
You have to.
But yeah, man, there's sacrifices that I made that she wasn't aware of. You know what I'm saying? And that shed a different light on it for me, for her, because you know how, like, sometimes you see a duck on the water. They look like they're just calm, floating around, but underneath they paddling like crazy.
Scrambling.
And that's the best analogy I can give because she didn't understand that because I didn't expose her to it. But I do agree there is a balance. And who I'm more worried about is my fucking son. Because if Bree didn't see me struggle, he's damn sure not going to see me struggle.
Right.
So then it's a different, probably, I would imagine like a different, but he's still going to see you.
He's going to see me.
But think about the difference of it, though. He had sugar when he was 15.
Yeah, I know that's
You know
wild.
what I'm saying? Do you know how much
But
struggle happens
isn't that
then?
that's okay, isn't it? As long as we raise them to be, the type of young men
No,
that
yeah,
we
that's
want them
not
to
what
be,
he's
right?
saying, though. What he's saying is there was immense struggle having a child at 15.
She didn't see that.
And she doesn't think I had any.
I get what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So now that he's in a good spot, the baby damn is gonna think he's
Yeah.
for real Superman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like shit just appears. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Literally.
Yeah, so that's what but I do have to find that balance. And Bree will help me with that with him, actually.
Yo, serious question, and something I've been thinking about, and I've been wanting to run it by you guys. How do y'all feel about becoming therapists?
Who? You?
Us.
Becoming
Like
therapist?
seriously, like really like licensed therapists to like provide for our people.
Honestly, when you first initially, I'm like, nigga, what you talking about? I think that would be hard. Not as in difficult, but I think that'd be a
I
dope.
thought you meant difficult.
I think that'd be hard as fuck if we ended up being therapists. Like, I can't imagine being a
What do you think
therapist.
about
So
that?
I
Nigga,
love to see
hard,
that
hard,
shit.
hard as hell.
For a moment,
Complicated.
because we know each other.
Difficult.
Because we know each other, it's a lot easier. But look how you guys just fucking psychoanalyze me down to
But
a
I don't
T.
have a desire to do that professionally. I don't have a desire, like I don't have it, like this is because it's you. I don't think I care for people in a different capacity than to provide the role of being their therapist in a professional manner.
It
You
was
know
just-
what
it
I'm
was
saying?
almost
I
like
can't share a joint with my client and shit. You know
One
what
of
I
the
mean? There's a lot
dudes
shit.
who's on the podcast, my man Hamp's podcast. Shout out to This Might Be Risky podcast, but
Yeah, I tapped in and
he's-
watched that recently. Shout out to that podcast.
he's a therapist and a life coach. And he said something. He said something the other day. He's like, "Yo, I'm a much better coach than I am a therapist."
So I recently looked into being an executive coach. That I will do.
What's an executive coach?
So I have an executive coach, and an executive coach is just for people who are at higher leadership levels, and they need some. So my wife's a life coach, and she
Right.
coaches some executives too, but she's more so helping. Like the bulk of her community is helping people, like my daughter, like navigate their life and what they want to do, whether they're multi-passionate, meaning like they have a day job, but they have a side business. She helps them launch that and get thoughts in order. Whereas an executive coach, it's like my executive coach, shout out to Toby Quentin, my guy. He's the company's coach, so it's not like he's just mine, but he helps me see past me for the greater good of my organization. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, because as a leader, like, for instance, I was running still am, but back then when he was really locked in with me, running a multi-million-dollar business. So there's a lot of people I'm responsible for. So in order for me to get them where they need to go, I need to be where I need to be to help push them.
Got it.
So it's like just helping navigate business decisions, mental decisions that are getting in the way of you making sound business decisions. So
Yeah, I think you're good at that.
I will do that. Like I would absolutely do that, and I'll make this commitment because there's schooling for it. If you are serious about being a therapist, I'll start my life coaching business.
Y'all should do that shit.
I mean, you already got
I'll
a
reach out
master's
on-
though. You gonna get another one?
I would have to.
So I just
Is this something you've been thinking about for yourself personally? Like on some real shit?
But it's not for like. I know we need it, and we always say we are not therapists, and we're not. But we can.
What
be.
if we were?
But what
That
if we
would
were?
be crazy if we were.
I think it would bring more validity to the show. I think so.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm off to be a therapist. I feel like I have a train of thought that I don't know exactly I just don't know if my psyche is fit to be a professional therapist. I don't know if that makes it, not that I'm damaged, but just my outlook and how I view life. I don't know if professional therapy is a lane that my spirit would fit best in. Does that make sense?
Ideally,
make sense.
no, for sure. Ideally, I would like to just hit the road and do this motivational speaking thing and really try to empower people and change lives. But I think when you get, like, I do a lot of one-on-one at my job. And with these kids, when you get them one-on-one, they listen. They lock in. They buy in.
Well, you could be a life coach.
You start, right.
But not as much schooling.
Right. But I mean,
Technically, you don't even need school.
Yeah, I want to be taught certain ways to kind of look. You know, what I mean, they teach you certain things that you could use and be beneficial for you, and towards helping people look and see things differently. And I think
you'd be a great therapist.
we do that now. I do that now without the training
Credentials.
You know what I'm saying? But I would like to be able to I'm sure there's nuggets that I get from them that be like, yo, that's a great way to help this person get through their stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I was like, what's more ideal than doing it with your homies and, like, you know what I mean, changing the game kind of. You dig what I'm saying? Like,
I do.
So that's kind of where my mind went. Like, I want us all to win. I think that'd be something like, think about, like you said, the impact it would be if we were 3 licensed therapists here having these conversations.
That would be hard.
Or even if one of us was licensed and we other
Thinking that too.
and we combine forces, you know what I'm saying? Like
Voltron.
to do different things. Yeah, form like Voltron.
Voltron's a bad motherfucker. Anyways,
was hard as shit.
no, but so yeah, but I nevertheless, I think this was a dope conversation, yo. I think it was really insightful, introspective, and all of the above. Is there a solid difference between restraint and integrity?
Well, that would be a question for Prentice.
Do they go hand in hand, P?
I think I'm realizing that how much I'm associating integrity with restraint. And so now I got some things to think about. Like, what is my real definition of integrity? What all does it encompass? And I wanted to talk to y'all because just sitting and listening to y'all, and this could be my final thought, sitting in and listening to you guys always gives me insight and a different perspective that I don't have. It always does. It doesn't matter what the fuck we're talking about. We're talking about whatever. You guys always say something to me that has me like something to consider, right? So for me, I think talking to you guys and discussing restraint, it makes me want to now like process and think, okay, so what are the things I define, like what packages integrity for me? You know what I mean? And why is restraint so high?
Can I ask you a question? I know this is your final thought. My bad.
No, it's all good.
Why is it a mystery?
Because it's never been necessarily a conscious priority for me.
To have integrity or restraint?
Integrity. I've had to show restraint in my life. If I've wanted to achieve, accomplish, or endure, or survive, I've had to show restraint. So it's never been an intentional thing. I realize that I've done a lot of living in other people's perceived perceptions. Even I've lived in my perception of how they perceive me without even knowing how they've perceived me. So how the fuck can I really define myself?
Well, and when you say that lets me know that then maybe there wasn't a foundation that you're standing on.
Then.
Yeah.
So now that I do have a foundation and I'm in the spaces I'm in, I'm having different questions and I'm realizing different shit. And one of those, like I said, initially, I found myself recently showing restraint, which made me feel like I have more integrity than I did before. So I was like, if I see this shit and I don't really understand it, let me talk to some niggas who I think, let me talk to my niggas.
This your podcast, bro.
Yeah, word.
Who, when I think about it, show that shit a lot. So now I'm thinking after the conversation, it probably shouldn't be as much about restraint as it should all the other things I didn't realize I associate with integrity. You know, maybe I'm focusing a little too much on this restraint shit, and the restraint is associated with conflict. So why am I only associating integrity with times of conflict? Why am I not consciously thinking about it in other spaces?
That makes all the sense in the world to me. For sure.
I mean, naturally, you know, my marriage and fatherhood, it's there, but outside of that.
I think you show restraint in that most recent situation.
And that's what has me
without a
here.
doubt. Hey, right. I'm assuming
That's what got
catapulted
me
this
here.
time.
Yeah.
So give me your final thought in summation. Shorten it up.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. That's my final thought. Good job, Prentice.
No doubt. Go ahead. Final thought.
Final thought. This conversation has been eye-opening for me. And I think when you get out of your, you as in the proverbial you, get out of your environment, right? Like, you met us. We're not from Oakland. We're not from the West Coast. So now you get an understanding of how other people react, respond, carry themselves. And the same thing is true for me. It's like Chief and I grew up together. So we're going to be more similar than not, right? Because call it nature versus call it nurture, whatever you want to call it. But then when I see somebody like you, it's like, oh, some of the things that I do second nature aren't second nature for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what am I doing that's not second nature to me, but maybe to Prentice or maybe to somebody else, you know? So it's just getting around different people to gain greater perspective.
That's exactly what's happening.
You know what I'm saying? And I've said this quote a number of times. I read it somewhere. It was like, they said, in 5 years, you'll be exactly who you are today. The only thing that'll be different is the books you read and the people you meet. You know what I'm saying? So I think you're in that discovery period of identifying and standing on, identifying core values and standing on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and who you are. And I think this is like your second act.
Yeah, and the podcast is teaching me, and I don't mean to go jump into
No,
the
you
final
good, bro.
thought, but it's teaching me recording it live the way we are now is really teaching me sometimes you got to go to the energy. Right?
Yes.
Like you can't
Yes.
always wait for it to come or just go to the next city over. Sometimes you got to go, like I'm on the other side of the country.
Word.
And we're doing this every so weeks, you know what I'm saying? Going to the energy and seeing how you guys conduct yourself as friends, how you guys sustain it in person on a natural level is totally different than it's been online. Now I'm like, this is my going to the energy, right? So now I'm just understanding, now that I'm going there while I'm there, even though we got business to handle, like this whole episode was just about let me be, it was selfish, but let me get some game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm here and it's a different energy and I'm going to this energy and I'm consistently doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? So let me milk it for what it's worth because I see the value in it. So
Shameless plug. Prentice, you're healing.
Oh.
abmnt.com. Go get the merch. Go get the merch, man. I'm healing. It's a sweater, honestly. I wasn't going to say shit.
Tony got me
Honestly,
two
y'all, I got on
sweaters.
our sweater that says healing, man. It's a sweater. It's the whole reason. It's the whole reason. Buy you one.
Yeah,
You'll
but I
feel
want
it.
to help you heal. And help you
feel
heal.
it.
Yeah, the sweater.
You see exactly what he's talking about.
You feel it.
You feel it.
I thought it was dope. I love the accountability that swings between us, man, and it's grown immensely
Pause.
through the time. Accountability, B. That was
You said swings between
I
us?
said
Hey,
grown.
you said swings, bro. That's crazy.
Hey, yo!
grown a
I am all set.
Nah, I think the fact that we can hold each other accountable is super, super dope. I like the company you keep, P, because I think being around, when you surround yourself with different people, you learn different things, and you start, and like you said, you see in certain things, and it's, you're evolving, and that's good. But you said something I thought was real cool, and I think we're gonna make a T-shirt. It's like pass praise down, and
Problems up.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's huge, and I think not a lot of us are doing that. And like, you make that phone call, like those text messages we send to back people. That's the little bit of praise coming back, and we're throwing our problems up, and I think that's good. So,
Yo, bro, this is stupid,
no,
yo.
he's over here wilding.
He's stupid.
So, yo, we are on all social media outlets at All Black Men Need Therapy. Our
Clearly,
website
we need that
is
shit.
abmnt.com. Our phone line, we got a voice line. Hit us up if you in the moment and you're going through some shit, you need to talk to somebody, send us a text message, 860-410-6160. And that's all we got for y'all. So per usual, man, do us all a favor and go buy a shirt. But hug a black man today
Hi, my name is Chief, and I talk real soft. Do it.
and tomorrow.
Do it.
We out, y'all. Peace. Such a hitter.
Oh man.
Boom, bang, done.